Hey friends, let's do this. All right, we are in episode 3 of our Dressed with Purpose series, and that series is based on Colossians 3:12-14. If you missed the previous episodes, be sure to go watch them. They're on our channel. I'll just read that main verse for us right now. So it says, "So chosen by God for this new life of love, dress in the wardrobe God picked out for you. Compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Be even-tempered, content with second place, quick to forgive an offense. Forgive as quickly and completely as the Master forgave you. And regardless of what else you put on, wear love. It's your basic all-purpose garment. Never be without it." So today we are putting on humility from God's wardrobe. Humility, that's a pretty uncommon word. It means to be humble and to have a modest opinion of yourself. I want to share with you a comic strip from Peanuts, and I'll explain it a little bit after. So in this comic strip, Linus is talking to Charlie Brown, and he says, "When I get big, I'm going to be a humble little country doctor. I'll live in the city, and every morning I'll get up, climb into my sports car, and zoom into the country. And then I'll start healing people. I'll heal people for miles around. I'll be a world-famous, humble little country doctor." So he starts out with some pretty great intentions. He's going to come into the country, he's going to heal people because it's his passion, but then it escalates really quickly into becoming a world-famous, humble little country doctor. And I think it shows really well how hard it is to be humble sometimes. There's a part of the Bible from Philippians 2, verses 1-4 that says, "Don't push your way to the front. Don't sweet-talk your way to the top. Put yourself aside and help others get ahead. Don't be obsessed with getting your own advantage. Forget yourselves long enough to lend a helping hand." So this verse is kind of the opposite of the culture that we live in. Today it's all about getting ahead, being the best at what you're doing, having more than the next person, being more beautiful, more funny, smarter, just focusing on yourself and leaving others in the dust. Now let's take a second to see how that might look and how that might make others feel.
I'm so excited. I'm going to Italy this summer.
Well, I own Italy, so... Wow, this is good water. Well, I invented water, so...
You know what? Something awesome happened to me today.
Well, something even better happened to me.
But I didn't even finish yet.
So...
Can somebody help me get this book? I really hurt my wrist.
Well, my arm fell off, so...
What?
Nancy, she is something else. In that Philippians passage that I read, it says, "Forget yourselves long enough to lend a helping hand." There's a quote from C.S. Lewis that says, "True humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less." Let me explain that a little bit. So it's not telling you that you have to think badly of yourself or think that you're worth nothing, because let me tell you right now, you are worth more than words can even express. But what this is saying is that you can have the confidence to put yourself aside and help others. This is pretty hard to do sometimes, I know. I can't tell you how many times I've done something just so I could get a free mug in return. So something I had to learn in my life was that not everything is about me as much as I might like it to be. It's just not. And to kind of prove that and show where I've come from, I have a bit of a story time for you of when I was a non-humble Nancy. And, you know, it happened at my best friend's 9th birthday party. I'm not proud of it. So just a little backstory before I get into it. I met my best friend Jane in grade 1. And if there are things that I know about Jane, it's that she likes purple, she loves ketchup, and she loves cats. Always has, always will. So here we are at her birthday party. We're all sitting in front of her. She's sitting on a chair and she's opening up all of her presents. And she's really excited, obviously, because it's her birthday. And me, little 9-year-old Kaylyn, is not as excited as 9-year-old Jane, because I was sitting there and with each present being opened, I was just getting more and more jealous and feeling more and more like I would also like this party to be about me and not just about her. And so she's got all these presents because there was lots of people there, and she's opening them all, and I just feel this thing building up inside of me, and I feel like I can't contain it anymore. And she gets to her final present, and it's from her parents, and she opens it up, and it's a big book of cat facts. Like I said before, she loves cats, so this was a really appropriate present, and she was obviously very excited about it, and just kind of rejoicing in her present and starting to look through the book. But at this time, like I said, super jealous, it's all building up inside of me, and I word vomit. Who cares? It's just a big book of cats. Silence fell across the room, and I'm just sitting here thinking, why isn't there a spotlight on me? Why don't I have any presents? Blah, blah, blah. And her mom was sitting beside me, and she had to then say to me, Kaylyn, you know, Jane really likes cats, and now whenever she's thinking about cats, she can open this book and learn about them. And it was just really, you know, as I hear the story later on in life, it's just a really embarrassing story. And what's more embarrassing than just having to hear it is that it was all caught on home video. It was all caught on VHS. And I realized by saying VHS, I aged myself a little bit, but we're going to move on from that. So what this story is showing is that I could not be humble, and I could not be happy for my friend who got a present that was really great and that she was really happy about. And you know what, Jane, I still feel bad about that, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I was a jerk and ruined your present. It was a great present, and I think you still have that cat book. What I've learned in my life is how to be more humble, I think, but it's something that I always have to consciously put on. So I have got my gloves of humility here, or my humble hands, if you feel like calling it that. I'm ready to get down to the nitty-gritty of putting myself aside and lending a helping hand. Now, I'm going to be the first to tell you that sometimes these are sweaty and uncomfortable, but being humble is not always easy. I think sometimes it takes more strength to be humble, but it's work worth doing. We can all wear these gloves, maybe not these particular ones, but we can be ready to put others first when they need us. That's all for today, friends, and what I would really love for you to do is leave some funny stories, maybe in the comments, of when you were being a non-humble Nancy, just like me at my friend's 9th birthday party. I would love to read those. So go on and put on those gloves of humility and put yourself aside and lend a helping hand. Join me next time to hear about the rest of my wardrobe.